So, cousin, you also say had a million thoughts all day. Then when you there, can't even say it to your face. Butterflies build up. I start losing my train of thoughts. Why you couldn't find the right words to say, cousin?
Child.
Cuzn T, we making moves, we just might go and make the news. Brand new episode every week, yeah, we dropping heat. Got a 7 with the juicy questions, this unfiltered tea. When you sit up on this couch, you feel just like some family. There go Boo behind the scenes, he's securing everything.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Goddess 7, and this is Cuzns Tea Podcast. Today, y'all, my guest is a very dope person. I'm glad I finally got her on this sofa, Cuzns. She is an entrepreneur who knows how to create financial revenues in many different ways. She's the CEO of is it AR Entertainment? Because I didn't know if it was ANR. Okay, AR Entertainment, LLC. She's also a photographer, a cinematographer, and the director of Oblivious, the series. She has a 360 booth, and she does custom designs. Yes, honey, sis got a lot going on, cousin, and she a poet.
Yes.
Ashley in the building with your favorite cousin. Ashley, hey.
Yes, hey, Cuz. How you doing? It's glad to finally be here.
Yes.
You know, it's been a long journey.
Yes.
But I finally made it to the couch.
Yes, thank you for pulling up, Ashley.
No problem.
First of all, woman to woman, I want to say I am so proud of you. You definitely putting on for the women out here. You doing your shit in your entrepreneur bag.
Thank you, boo.
Yes.
I appreciate that. I'm just trying to make it in the world.
Okay.
That's it. Nothing too crazy.
Where you originally from?
I'm from New York City. Born in
Oh.
Harlem Hospital, raised in Queens. So I came out here about 5 years ago. I was in here in 2014. I left 2014. I went back like 2017. I stayed in New York for a few years to build myself up, and then I made my way back. COVID.
What made you come to Charlotte? Well, not Charlotte, but Carolina.
So at the time, it was more so I was in a relationship, and the person who I was in a relationship with, their family was from here. And I always wanted to get to Atlanta. That was my dream. So I figured if I get to Charlotte, I'd be closer to my dream.
Right. So the next stop, Atlanta.
Most definitely.
Okay. Growing up, New York, like what was that like for you?
Growing up in New York was a fast life. I was a rebel my whole life, so I was running the streets on New York City public train system. You know what I'm saying? Late nights, partying to 4, 5, 6 in the morning. That's my young days. But now, New York is just a lot of people, too many people. So that's why I ain't there. You know, everybody like in competition and stuff like that. But New York is a fun city. Growing up, you know, it was just easier for me to like be out on my own because, you know, everybody is doing their own thing. You know, junior high school, we get bus passes, we travel on the train to, you know, our schools if it's far out, whatever the case may be. So we got a little bit more freedom than down in the South where you get taken to school every day and dropped off every day.
Yeah. Okay. So I know you and your mom were really close. I could tell by a poem that I heard you do about your mom.
Well, we're close in spirit.
Yeah.
Close in spirit. My mama, she passed when I was 1, so I didn't really get a life with her, but you know, in the spiritual realm, I have grown closer to her.
Yeah.
And, yeah, she's been gone since I was 1, so I still make sure I keep her name alive.
Yeah.
You know, and do what she couldn't.
Did your dad raise you?
No. My aunt, which is my mother's oldest sister, raised me.
Oh, okay. Big sis handled it. Okay.
Yes.
So the entrepreneur side, has that something like that's always been in you? When did that take place?
Well, it's always been in me. I think it came from my mother and my dad, because my father, he's been in this country since my mother, probably since like 87, and he's worked at the same job.
Where he from?
Jamaica.
Oh.
He's a Jamaican, and he works like a slave, okay?
That's why you were cooking that jerk chicken the other day.
Yes.
Okay.
It's in my blood. It's in my blood. My mama, she used to work too. She was a traffic enforcement agent before she passed. She had other jobs, and she was only 31, and she was doing her thing. She lived in a co-op. 3 kids, you know, husband. She took care of 2 of my cousins, and she still, you know, managed a car, and, you know, she wasn't on any assistance or anything like that. So she was getting it.
Okay. So AR Entertainment, you formed that business May 2021. What made you want to get into the entertainment industry?
Well, my business was rebranded in 2021. I've been running my business since 2017 when I first bought my camera. But I rebranded it in 2021 during the process when I was finishing up school because I knew that I was going to go into my 360 business. So I was pretty much preparing myself for that. My entertainment business is everything media. So it's pretty much filming, directing. I'm filming photography, videography, basically bringing any creator's vision to life through production services. So I'm able to provide any service that you need as long as you need it, as far as media goes. So I formed a business so that I can help people and I can give creators a platform where they can spend their money and get a bundle of services for my work instead of having to pay per service, so that they can really build on their businesses or their brands,
Yeah.
I got a director's package. If you needed me to produce a movie for you, I got a director's package, things like that. Just ways that people don't have to break the bank to make it happen.
Okay, you went to school for media?
So I went to school for broadcasting and production technology. So when I first went to college at 17, I went to school for digital media arts. So I basically took the knowledge that I had as a child and I built on that until I was able to take some film courses. But I still wasn't able to take the courses that I needed because when I moved back from during COVID, my school, CPCC, they pretty much stopped all the programs. I was supposed to be in the film station, working in the PBS station, hands-on everything, but because of COVID, they stopped that program. So now we didn't get the education that we really needed, the hands-on experience that we really wanted because of COVID. So I still feel like I need to go back to school and learn some more. Okay,
what was the first event you ever threw? You remember?
Well, I used to throw events in 2014. I had 3 different groups on LGBT. I had an LGBT, a Charlotte group, I had an entertainment group, and I had a business group for networking. And I would have my groups come out and do dinners, we'd do open mics. I used to do an open mic at Apostrophe Lounge where I had a live painter there as well, Denier. She's really, really great now. She's painting for the stadiums and stuff now. But when she started off, she used to come out and show love, and that's what made me want to do it again now. So I've been doing events for over a decade. I just got back into it in the recent days.
So the first event you ever threw, was you nervous?
I was a little bit, but I'm a people person.
Yeah.
So I'm able to adjust to my surroundings, especially if it's my event, regardless.
Okay. What was the outcome of your first event?
So actually, I know that my LGBT event was very good. I had everybody come out to Valentine, and we went out to a nice dinner. So on Meetup, people will reach out, different clubs and different businesses will reach out and be like, hey, your event, your group can, throw an event here. And I'll be like, okay, no problem. I'll see if that works for us and we'll set up a date. As long as they're buying food and drinks, they don't care. They'll RSVP a section for us and things like that. So I was able to connect with all different types of LGBT, and I was helping people. I actually met some lifelong friends that I'm still friends with to this day. I just went to their wedding earlier this year, and that's from her just coming to my groups.
Yeah. That's dope, Ashley.
Thank you.
Okay, so any cousins watching, they thinking about getting into the entertainment world, and they trying to figure out how long is it going to take me to see a return on my profit. In your experience, how long did it take you to see your return? Because sometimes honestly, you don't see it right away.
It really just depends, because at first, of course, I wasn't getting bookings all the time. I was doing a lot of free work and things like that. You got to build yourself up. So if you're dedicated and you're doing constant work and, educating yourself and doing videos, even if it's just a minute video, some promo, whatever, that can help you build your skills. Once you're good enough, you got to charge what you're worth, period. Don't sit there and let people beat you in the head, because if you let people beat you in the head, they will definitely do it. You know what I'm saying? So don't be taking no $100 jobs if you know you're going to be out there working for 4 or 5 hours. That doesn't make sense. If you're going to sit there and make the same thing that you're working at a regular job, you might as well be at a regular job. You know what I'm saying? So, that's my best advice, and I had to make my own lane, so I made it work for me. I made it in a way where I could go outside every day and I can make my money, no matter what I'm doing. And I don't have to always bring my 360 out. I don't always have to do a video. I could go take pictures and make my money on the spot and keep pushing. So I made it like that for myself. You know what I'm saying? And once I found that lane, I just ran with it. So, and then I just added on to my business. So you see what's trending, you see what's going on. You know, invest in yourself. You gotta invest in yourself. Those years that I was home and I was in New York, I literally came here with the whole production company in my hands. You know what I'm saying? I had all my equipment, I had all my backdrops, I had all my lighting, I had my camera, I had all these different pieces to it because I was building that while I was, you know, home. You know, getting myself together to move back. So when I moved back, I came ready and prepared to start my series. And when I started my series, I just kept adding on to it.
Okay. So what about the investment part? From your experience, how much would you recommend that they should probably have set aside to start investing in their business?
I would just say to start off with a camera first, because everything's expensive when it comes to cameras, media, you know, everything's expensive, so you got to get things piece by piece. I don't know how long your money is, but if it's long enough, then get everything you can while you can, you know what I'm saying? I started off with a bundle. I got a camera bundle, which already gave me like 20, 30 extra pieces, you know. It gave me a few lenses, it gave me a carrying bag, it gave me memory card, it gave me lighting, it gave me certain things that already came with my camera, so I had a good start. So I would suggest like just buying a camera bundle off of Amazon. That's what I did.
Okay.
And I started like that.
What about venues? What tips can you get them about finding a good venue?
So venues is really more so showing them what you're working with. So if you're doing videos, go make a promo video for them, you know, for free, and then show them what you got, and then try to get in on a contract. You know, if they need video work, hey, I could do you videos, 30-second recaps for $150 a week. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you 2 or 3 of them a week, depending on, you know, how experienced you are. Or, you know, you adjust the prices based off your experience.
Okay, Talented Tuesday.
And also your camera, what kind of quality work you're bringing. Because if you're doing like 4K, that takes up way more memory, and that charges way more. You know, it takes way more to edit 4K footage compared to Ultra HD.
It's definitely longer.
Way longer. So yes.
Okay. What kind of camera would you recommend while we talking about cameras?
Nikons are really good for photography. I used those when I was working for Life Touch for a few years. I worked for Life Touch and Jackson Petty Portraits for about 7 years altogether. So those were Nikons. They use like 3200s, 3250s, something like that. For me, I like Canon. I like the T6i Rebel. That's my baby. I just retired her. She was putting in work for 8 years. So now I have a Mark II. So, you know, it really just depends on the type of shooter you are, and also brands and stuff. Some people use Sony, some people use Nikon, some people use Canon. When it comes to video, I use my Blackmagic, which is industry standard for like Netflix and things like that. So
how much that Blackmagic cost, Cuzn?
$500 and plus.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna have to invest. It ain't gonna be today, Cuzn, but I'm gonna get me one of them.
Yeah, so it's a really great camera. You could probably find it cheaper if you know, search online and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's really good, and the quality, that's what, if you've seen my series, that's what I use for my series.
Okay. Talented Tuesday.
Yes, Talented Tuesdays, which is today.
Dope event. Yep, today. Every Tuesday. So you host that at King Tut. What made you decide to go with King Tut?
Well, King Tut, I had actually started doing some business with them earlier in that month, where I was helping them, you know, just bring in more traffic and things like that. So I figured that I would implement this event because we were looking for things that will draw more people in. And this is something that I've been wanting to do, so I knew that I could pull it off. I'm connected with a lot of artists. I go to open mics all the time. I go to all these different venues and stuff like that. So I knew that it's also a market for it. So I implemented it into it. I brought the idea to them and I made it happen. I put the right people in place so that I could bring it to fruition.
Okay, for the cousins who not aware and they coming to visit Charlotte, can you tell them a little bit of what they can expect when they go to Talented Tuesdays?
Yes, Talented Tuesdays is an open mic for creators where you're able to come and perform no matter what your talent is. We are giving out prizes every week from different sponsors. Big shout out to our sponsors. One of them is Cuzn. So we have, you know, free photo shoots, free article features. We got free podcast interviews. The whole 9 yards, pretty much. We try to connect creators with producers while they're there. You know, anyone who can help them succeed more in their brand or their business. So it doesn't matter what type of business you are. We done gave awards to poets. We gave awards to musicians. You know, we have a live painter there. We have, you know, musicians come out and play live music too. So it's really a dope vibe. You just gotta come and see for yourself.
When it comes to choosing y'all winners, what do you look for?
We look for crowd participation, articulation, the overall look, the energy, you know, anything that makes a great artist. Because at the end of the day, you can be a great artist, but you don't know how to deliver. You can be a great artist, you can be on stage, but you're staying in one spot the whole time. You know, you got to talk to your audience, engage with your audience. Also, you know, have that energy, have that look. Then, you know, you put your best foot forward every time you come out the house. So, you know, we look for all of that. Sometimes it just takes talent. Some people, they don't even have the resources, they just need to push. So we give them that.
Yeah. Okay. So you collaborate with Classic Coco on that event. How did you two meet?
Me and Coco, we met through my hairdresser, Chantel. Word. So I was getting my hair done, and she was like, "Oh, girl, I want to introduce you. You know, she a photographer. Coco, she be doing her stuff and stuff like that." So we connected then, and then like a few years later, I actually started popping out at different open mics, and she was hosting Extra Lady Mondays, and I would go over there and I would pop up all the time on them and show some love. And I always told her like a year prior to that, like, hey, we gotta collaborate, do an event together, put it together, this and that, and then it just finally happened.
Okay. So what's one thing that you want the Cuzns to leave your event knowing, whether it's performers or our guests, like one thing you want them to know when they leave that event, or one thing you want them to feel?
So mostly I just want everybody to feel like they are genuinely there, getting love and support. No matter when you come, if it's a light night, if it's a big night, it's always gonna be love there. We help each other heal. We help each other, you know, connect. We network. We are basically building like a community. You know, every time you leave there, I want you to feel like you're here with family. You know, and yeah, you got that support system whenever you need it. Some people, one of our winners just yesterday, we got a group chat where we put our artists in, and he posted that he needed an entertainment lawyer. One of our artists that performed prior, and also another winner, he came and dropped the information for him immediately. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to keep each other connected, give the resources that we need. I'm also doing a creatives album for them. So everybody who's performed, we're making a creatives album that's going to be on all platforms.
Yeah. Okay, that's dope. Look, y'all in the city, make sure y'all come check that out whenever y'all come to Charlotte, North Carolina. So Ashley, also a poet. You can find her poetry on gwenrichards.wordpress.com. Where did the name Gwen come from?
My grandmother, my Jamaican grandmama. Big shouts out to Granny.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm named after my grandmother, Gwendolyn Richards. I'm Gwendolyn Ashley Richards. So yes, I'm named after Granny, and she's Jamaican. She's in her 90s, still living her life and dancing like she's 20. So grateful.
Okay. How old were you when you started writing?
Junior high school, probably like 11. 10, 11.
You started off writing poems or?
Poems, yes. I started off writing poems, stories. I used to always love writing essays and stuff. That was like my favorite. Even though I hated school, I loved the essay.
Okay.
I always make sure I do my essays, you know, history essays. All my teachers, they love me. I just didn't go, you know, most of the time. When I started acting now, I was cutting school a lot. But when it came to doing certain work, I just loved doing it. I still got like all of my college essays and stuff like that because I just like writing.
What do you love most about writing?
Just being able to express yourself in a way that, you know, people understand. And I got a way with words, so it just comes naturally. It just helps me to release all that extra emotion that I'm holding on to.
Okay, so of course I had to look at your poetry. You got a lot of emotional poetry, a lot of love poetry. Like, what is it that draw you to that love poetry?
Hurt, relationships. So I used to write only when I was going through stuff. So I changed that now because I noticed that in my poetry it was just a lot of emotional pain. So I started switching it up. I remember I met a guy a few years back, and he was like, hey, you know, I love your poetry, but I want you to do something different. And he made me write like 20 different poems about 20 different things, you know, and I did, and it was pretty dope. So I branch out more now. Like I just wrote one for my son today because my baby about to graduate. He about to have his honor roll study. I'd be so excited. So
you gonna read it to him?
Yeah, most definitely. So, yeah, I use it as an outlet, really.
Okay.
And then I always wanted to turn my poems into movies. That's why I got into entertainment, I guess.
Okay. Now, if you could write a poem for any celebrity in the world or any well-known person in the world, who would it be and why?
Well, damn, any celebrity?
Or a well-known person.
A well-known person. Well, you know, I love Drizzy. That's my brother from another mother. So I would have to give him something like
Drake? Okay.
Two of my favorite songs is from him. Closer to My Dreams. It's about, you know, pretty much getting closer to your dreams and stuff like that. And then he did another
I love
one.
That song.
Look at Me Now, which is a dedication to his grandmother and his aunt that raised him. And
Girl, I never knew that. Okay.
So pretty much, he's pretty much saying like, thank you for doing what you did. Like you didn't have to do it and stuff like that. And I pretty much feel like that's how I feel coming up. And you know, when I get to where I need to be, I'm gonna make sure I look back and I bless everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially the ones who was there for me and didn't have to be.
Okay. If you could give the Cuzns any advice about writing poetry that people can feel, like when I hear this poem, I can feel the realness of it. Like, what would that be?
Write what you know. You know, write real pain. You know, my poetry is real life. You know, it's not made up. It's not just, you know, fictional and stuff like that. It's more so like straight, real, raw. I done been through some shit, so I'm getting it out.
Okay, so let's talk about your show that you got.
Okay.
The series Unacceptable.
So Unacceptable has not been filmed yet. Unacceptable is a short film that I need to film. I had put on a shelf because I had some problems with my health. So I haven't really got it back started yet. I'm in the process of coming back into that world. So it hasn't been shot yet, but the script is done and ready to shoot.
Okay, so the show that you do got out,
Oblivious.
Did any of the actors freestyle? Do you let them like freestyle and just go with the flow if they forget it, or they got to stick to the script?
Stick to the script.
Stick to the script.
I don't play that. Like freestyle, it will probably be one line. You know, just to make it comfortable, your wording if you can't get the way I want you to say it. But I wrote the script specifically because I needed it to be shot a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, even like some of my actors, they had to learn how to talk a little bit like New York accent since I wasn't filming it in New York. I wrote it based so it could be written in. I wrote it to be filmed in New York, Charlotte, and Atlanta. That's how I wrote it originally. You know, so I wasn't in all three places at once, so I used what I could.
What qualities do you look for the actors that you kept?
If the role fits them, you know, if they're able to perform, usually I send them a short monologue and they either do it in person or they send me a video audition acting it out with somebody.
Hey Cuzns, it's your girl Goddess7, and listen, this commercial break is actually sponsored by me. Y'all make sure y'all go to Amazon and get this manifestation journal. 369 21-day manifestation journal. I'm gonna help you manifest all of your dreams, everything that you're inspiring. I'm gonna help you get there. I'm gonna guide you in this journal. Make sure y'all go check out Amazon Prime. The link is in the description. Go get your journal.
Qualities I just look for, if you got it, you know, if you're gonna bring it. Some of my actresses and actors, they actually never have filmed before they work with me, and now they're going so far with their acting career. I'm so proud of them. And you know, that's what I wanted for my people anyway. I always want them to rise. I want them to be more successful, and I want them to follow their dreams, even if I can't give you that dream right at this time. You know, so when it comes to like auditioning, I usually send them a short monologue from the script, and they have to perform it. Send in a video audition, or in person. If I'm doing in-person auditions, they'll come perform in front of me.
Okay, what you love most about directing?
Seeing my vision come to life.
Okay.
Behind the camera, like what I've been thinking about is actually performing, you know. So when I'm in director mode, yeah, I'm a whole nother person.
Okay, did you help shoot the side chicks of Charlotte?
I did not.
You did? I don't know why I thought you helped shoot that. Okay, so you also own a 360 booth. What made you invest in it? I know you've been wanting to do it.
So my best friend, I went to my best friend wedding in 2022 or 2021, one of those, and I got to experience for the first time, and I loved it. And I was like, what is this? I gotta get me one. And I was asking the company about it and things like that, and pretty much I made it set in my head that day I'm gonna get me one of those, and I made sure I did. My father actually bought it for me for a graduation gift, and I was happy about that because I'm like, Lord, I needed it. And I had went back to work, attempted to go back to work for JC Penney portraits, but didn't work out for me, so I ended up leaving them the day that my 360 booth came in the mail. I quit and I never looked back.
You've been an entrepreneur full-time ever since.
And like prior to that, like I wasn't working for 2 or 3 years, so I already was used to not working and making my own money. I just tried to, try to balance out a little bit and sit my ass down, but it didn't work out, so I ended up back outside.
Couldn't sit down.
Right.
Okay, so when the Cuzns go purchase a 360 booth, what are some things they should look for?
Well, everybody has their style. So one of my bros that has a 360 photo booth, he loves manual photo booths where you have to spin it yourself. Personally, for me, that's too much for my life. So I like it automatic. Just press the button after everything is set up and it's going to spin on its own. It'll slow down, it'll speed up, it'll reverse, etc. But I would look for like the size depending on how big of an event you're doing. I have a 28, 29 inch platform, which is not that big. But also with my case, it's like 85 pounds just for the photo booth and the case together. That's without any other parts. You got to get lighting. You got to make sure you have perfect lighting so that, in dark spaces, you're able to light up the room. The ring light has to be a good ring light. Props, props for different events, especially if you're doing bookings. I would do props and learn how to do overlays because overlays are needed for the 360 photo booth.
What's the overlay?
So the overlay is pretty much what's on the image when you're doing a 360 spin. So it could have a birthday theme, it could have, congratulations grad, whatever it is. You just design it so that every time they spin, they see the overlay on there. You can put the host on there, have them popping out just like a flyer for the 360.
Okay, what's the life expectancy for a 360 booth?
Well, mine been running 3 years, no problems. So, as long as you take care of it.
You gotta get any kind of maintenance?
I ain't getting no goddamn maintenance. I just changed my ring light because I done went through probably like 10, 15 ring lights. So I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty crazy. But besides that, no. I haven't had no maintenance problems. My GVM lights are actually going out more than my 360, and them lights, they've been with me the same amount of time. So I just need to upgrade my lights, but other than that, it's just regular wear and tear.
Okay, so you also do custom designs. Can you talk to the Cuzns a little about that?
Yes, so I do custom ashtrays, crushers, grinders, whatever, resin products. My goal is to do resin floors. I think those would be really dope. But resin, I started it pretty much the same year, 2022. I was on a little bit of everything, and I started doing it because I wanted to make smokers boxes. That was my original idea for it. So I wanted to make the crusher. I wanted to make a tray and the ashtray, and then I would give people, a little bundle based off the type of smoker they are. So if they was like regular flour, I'll put some flour in there. I'll put their favorite roll up in there, things like that. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll put it in a smoker's box type of thing, and I'll do it like that. So I was thinking of that. That's what made me originally get into it.
Oh, okay. So since you work with the resin, what advice can you give the Cuzns who working with that too, so that they don't have no bubbles on it?
So with the bubbles, you gotta mix slow, because the more faster you mix, the more bubbles you create when you're actually mixing up the resin. It has to be in equal parts, so 1-to-1 ratio. And also, once you're done mixing, just sit it in some warm water for a few seconds, not too hot, so that the bubbles can come out. They'll rise, and the resin will soften up, and it will just spread out.
Okay, that was some good advice, Ashley. So you also invested in a property in Puerto Rico. What made you go with that decision?
I was investing in a property in Puerto Rico for Airbnb business. That property did fall through, but I did end up taking over my uncle's Florida house, where I was the property manager for there, and I got him up to $6,000 a month, renting out the house or whatever on Airbnb.
Okay. So would you ever do the Airbnb again, you think?
I would, most definitely. I would do for myself, and I would have multiple properties, yes.
What location would you go to?
It could be anywhere. It don't matter where I'm at, as long as I get some cleaners there, master key so I can lock it up and stuff like that. I'll go set up shop and make sure it looks good, because I had to go down south. I had to go to Florida to actually set up the house because it wasn't like really modern. So I did some interior design. I helped them fix it up, make it look all pretty and stuff before we put it up on Airbnb. And then I did all the photography and everything for it. I did the description and everything, and I just ran it. So the only thing he had to do was go clean it up when people checked out.
Okay. So you and your friends went to Punta Cana a couple years ago. Was that the
my best friend bridal shower? Yes, it was fun.
Okay, so you said girls trip and yacht party was lit. Take me back. What was it about that trip that made you say, you know what, I gotta go back?
Well, I always loved being with my bestie, but besides that, you know, it was my first girls trip. I don't like people like that, so the fact that it was so many of us together, you know, we was able to enjoy activities together. We did some like ATV riding, you know, we did the yacht party. I was as drunk as I've been in my life, but it was just a beautiful vibe overall. You know, it was a beautiful country, so we was able to just enjoy and live, and it was all inclusive, so I love that. You know, got to eat anywhere or anytime, you know.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Goddess 7, and this episode is sponsored by a couple different sponsors, so y'all already know I had to shout them all out. First of all, y'all, I gotta shout out Robinson Hustle 8, because guess what? They branding us over here. Y'all see these cute little glasses that I be drinking out of? Hold on, let me take a sip. Y'all see this? Y'all see this right here? Y'all see this cute little liquor ice bucket, whatever you want to call it? They made all of that. So if you're looking for some custom shit, make sure y'all go shop with Robinson Hustle 8. They customizing all your needs. I can't forget about Q3 Designs and Things. They're also a sponsor of Cuzns Tea Podcast, and they're a branding company for us. They made us these cute little shirts, y'all. Y'all like this shit? Y'all see this? Look, you need some custom shit for your business, go shop with Q3 Designs and Things, because they're going to get y'all right. They're going to get y'all everything that y'all need. I also cannot forget about Gemini Hookah, because they keep me smoking good on every motherfucking episode, y'all. Y'all see this hookah? They sponsored that for us. They did some other sponsorship, but most importantly, y'all, they got them hookahs, and y'all know I love hookahs. Look, y'all, hold on. See that cloud? See how that smoke just come out real thick, real cute or whatever? You could be smoking like that too, y'all. Go shop with Gemini Hookah. They got these ice packs. They got these portable hookah tips. You can take this thing anywhere with you. And they got hookah candles, y'all. They got different shisha flavors. They can make you anything you want. So make sure y'all go shop with Gemini Hookah, y'all. Go get y'all hookah. Until next time, cousins. Bye.
It was definitely an experience. So I love to travel. That's one of my favorite things to do in the world. So I usually travel 3 times a year. The last 2 years I've been a little slow, but I usually travel 3 times a year.
Okay. So how you find balance, Ashley? Because you an entrepreneur. You got a lot of businesses and you a mom. So how do you find balance with all of that?
Well, I'm still working on balance. So now I made it where I have 2 days off a week. Mondays and Wednesdays are my days off. So I try to relax. I try not to do too much. I try not to come to Charlotte because I don't live in Charlotte anymore. And I just, you know, chill out that day. I try to keep it local and reset my body.
How much rest if you could do it in hours, how many hours of sleep you normally get?
Ooh, now.
Because girl, you be busy.
20 hours in a week.
Okay. What do you love most about being an entrepreneur?
Being able to be on my own time, having freedom, not being able to, you know, I don't have to ever answer to anybody. You know, I work for myself. I make my own money. I make over $70,000 a year as a single woman, and you know, I can make way more. You know, if I had a few more people in place, I can make way more. If I hire 6 photographers, I can make $1 million a year. So I know what the vision is and what I'm pushing towards, so I know what to never go back to.
Okay, you got it calculated already. 6 photographers. Okay, cousin. So what about an obstacle? What's an obstacle that you had to overcome on your entrepreneur journey, and how did you overcome it?
Well, when it came to filming, directing, I think that was my biggest challenge. Taking on like 20 different jobs and me being one person. For my series, I casted it, I directed it, I edited it, I produced it. I did promo marketing, you know, I did like events for my cast, things like that. So everything that I was doing, all the energy I was putting out, it eventually caught up with me. But I also learned so much during the experience, you know. I had to like get a whole new camera, learn a whole new system, learn a whole new program for editing. Like, it was so much at one time. And then I also had to deal with, you know, different personalities, being able to like adjust to 20 people on my cast, you know, plus my few people who was part of my film crew, things like that, working with people, not working with people, you know, people are not like putting the effort that you would put in your production, so you gotta make it happen, you know what I'm saying? So I think that was the hardest part. Now I have a DP in place who is one of the best cinematographers in the world, Brian Propesky. He's on Squirm.tv. We're in business together. That's my DP, so he will be shooting my next film, and I can sit my ass down, and he's gonna bring everything that I need. So I don't have to do too much. I can just be a director.
Okay, for the people who don't know what DP mean, can you tell them?
Director of photography.
Okay.
So he's one of the best directors of photography in the world right now. He just won an award for it. He has plenty of awards. And he does mostly Christian films, but we are looking for films. If you got a small budget, we can work with you. Not the smallest budget, but we will work with you. You know what I'm saying? Because he has $1 million equipment production, so he's gonna bring that $1 million to whatever production. And with that, you have to make sure you got your shit together. You know, you got your script done, formatted correctly. You got your cast ready. You got your film, you know, breakdown ready. So yeah.
Okay. If it's 4 o'clock.
Okay.
We almost finished. Okay. All right. It ain't never stopped, right? The camera? Okay. Okay. So usually when I interview artists, I do help me understand these lyrics. But because you're a poet, I want to do help me understand this poetry. Okay. Okay, cousin.
Sounds good.
So I'm going to go over some of your poetry, and you just help us understand what you was going through or what you meant.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to talk about Isn't It a Shame? Okay. So in that poem you say, isn't it a shame that we played a game and still ended up right back in the same place? Isn't it lame to still think of you on so many days, from the way you talk, the way you laugh, then giggle in a way? So when you say we played the game and still ended up right back in the same place, what type of games was y'all playing?
So that poem talks about going through cycles with a person, trying and ended up back where you started, pretty much back at square one. And you know, even though you're back at square one, you're having like a million thoughts about this person and things like that, and you know, pretty much karmic cycles. Yeah. Start off with that. Okay. Karmic cycles.
Okay. Okay, cousin. So when you say to still think of you on so many days, from the way you talk, the way you laugh, then giggling away, what's some traits that a person gotta have in a relationship that make you like, I'm still thinking about them, like, because they got these special qualities?
Lord, intelligence is what really attracts me. If somebody can teach me something, I would love them for life. I'm a sapiosexual, so if you don't get in my mind, you can't get in my pants, you know. So pretty much you gotta have some knowledge. You gotta be able to teach me something. You gotta be able to lead in some way, because I'm already a boss, so I need somebody that can match that energy.
Okay. All right. So, cousin, you also say had a million thoughts all day. Then when you there, can't even say it to your face. Butterflies build up. I start losing my train of thoughts. Why you couldn't find the right words to say, cousin?
Child. Okay, so like this person that I'm writing about, like they used to just make me nervous and shit. So, you know, we did a lot of long distance prior to me moving back and things like that. And then when we were actually in front of each other, it was just like, you know, butterflies and all nervous and stuff like that. So that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, okay. So what can the Cuzns expect from Ashley this year?
For me to keep growing, keep elevating. Talent Tuesday's gonna take off. I think that at the end of the year, I want to bless somebody with a trip to New York.
Oh,
take them up to
okay.
New York for the weekend with me, and we gonna ride out and have a good time and go see a few open mics and stuff like that. So I'm
That's
just
from Talented Tuesday winner?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it for a Talented Tuesday when I also want to collaborate with some open mics. Let's join together instead of, you know, being apart. Let's join together. Let's make a big talent show. You know, it's some big hitters in the city that has not been to my event, but I've been to plenty of y'all's. So come show some love, you know, because I always show love. I always show up, and I show support to everybody's events. So, you know, I expect nothing but the same. And yeah, eventually, hopefully, we're all in a better place where we could come together and bring a great show for the Carolinas, for the creators, for the indie artists. You know, that's my goal. I want to make sure that everybody is getting where they need to be. And in the meantime, I'm going to focus on continuing to build my health, my mental health, and, you know, working on my goals.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully I get back filming soon. And, yeah, I'm in the process. Work in progress.
Okay. Now, I ask every guest this question, my signature question. What's one thing that you want the world to know about you?
One thing I want them to know, that I'm always going to come through. I'm always going to push people to be their best. And yeah, I'm going to help them get there. However I can make it happen. I'm not a gatekeeper. You know, I spread the information. People want to learn. I don't mind teaching as long as you're willing to learn. You know, I don't want to be wasting my time. Time is precious. So if you're willing to learn, I'm going to teach you. You know, if you're willing to step up and be a part of the team, I'm going to make sure that you got a position every week. You know what I'm saying? I put people in place that I feel that can help me advance to the next stage, and they also believe in my vision. If you don't believe in the vision, you don't even need to be around me. You know, so I'm working towards, you know, just genuine love and, yeah, spreading it and getting it back.
Okay, so last question is a question of the night. Okay. Everybody get a question of the night. Okay. So because you're a Sagittarius, yes, my Sagittarius sister.
Okay.
Big Sag on the sofa.
Big Sag.
Okay, so the question, Ashley, is what's your most compatible and least compatible sign?
Oh, Lord. Okay, let's see.
Because you fire now.
I am extreme fire. Let me think. Hold on. I gotta be careful with my words. I don't know who's gonna be watching this. So, shit. This is a hard one.
Let's start with most compatible.
Okay, most compatible. My most compatible relationships I've had with the Leo. Cancers, Virgos is pretty cool. They're annoying, but they cool. You know, they adjust to you. So I like that. But And Geminis, I actually had the relationships with Geminis. It just really depends on the person, I guess, really. You know, because it also depends on if they're at their highest self, if they operating out of low vibrational, nobody gonna be a match for you. You know, so it really just depends on where they're at in life, and if they're like really trying to help you grow or they're trying to, you know, push you down. In regards to like incompatible signs, Capricorns, Taurus.
Why Taurus? About their trait, not the person, but just a Taurus trait. I agree with
they're very
Capricorns.
stubborn.
Oh yeah,
Their
because they
stubbornness
bulls.
makes it hard to connect.
Yeah.
You know, if they're not willing to listen. And personally, we can be stubborn too. So that kind of is, you know. But don't get me wrong, we're besties too. But when it's war, it's war.
Yeah.
And that war can go on and on and on. Me and my brother's a Taurus too. Sometimes when we stop talking for 2 years at a time. You know what I'm saying? And then when we do start speaking back, we never talk about it again.
Yeah.
We just stop talking and we pick up where we left off. And if we talk about it again, we're gonna be arguing again. So we might as well just not talk about it and move on. So now, you know, that we know how to deal with each other, we deal with each other accordingly.
Yeah.
When it get too hot, we step away and then we'll come back, you know. But I learned that very stubborn. Me and my sister, she's a Leo, she's stubborn as hell too. We ain't speaking right now, so you know, it just depends on the person. I just think that who else I said? I said incompatible.
You said Capricorn and Taurus.
Capricorn, ooh, they devils. Okay.
I know why Capricorn. I ain't even gotta ask.
Yes, them demons can stay away from me. Okay, but they cool though. They cool as friends, but relationship hell to the no.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think everybody else is pretty okay. I ain't really feeling Aquarius, but I got a new friend. She Aquarius. She cool, but they be wildin' too. But other than that, I think everybody just got their ways.
Yeah.
It just depends on how it's presented to you.
Okay. So before we get up out of here, cousin, let them know where they can find you at.
All right, y'all. So y'all can find me, and my personal page is self-elevated_woken soul, and my business page is a.r._ENT_LLC on Instagram. If you're looking for me on Facebook, it's Ashley Richards on Facebook, or a.r.ENT_LLC on Facebook as well.
Okay, y'all, make sure y'all go follow Ashley, tap in to everything she got going on. Definitely a dope individual, so y'all tap in with her. Before we leave, I want to say thank y'all so much for watching every week, for tapping in. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Until next time, cousins. Bye.
Later. All right, y'all. So I am here at Cuzns T Podcast. It was a great show. I sat with Cuz and we just talked about all different types of things in regards to my business, and you know, she tapped in and got to know me a little bit. Y'all make sure y'all come here, come sit on a couch and talk to her. She is definitely a vibe. She makes you feel welcome, and of course y'all want to hear her every week, so you got to bring your asses so she can have some stuff every week, you know what I'm saying? So yes, tap in with her. She's a lovely host, and yeah, I'll see y'all soon.